name is Daniel Levine, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use the online portal at the website online.takisizwe.co.za. As you can see, there are, when you first open the web page, there should be two boxes, one with your username and another one with your password. And you can see that I have already entered this information, my username here and my password here, obviously in a password field, so it's not visible. Then you can go and click remember me if you want to not have to log in with your password every single time or not, and finally we can log in. So you can see here we open to our student dashboard, where it first of all welcomes us to our page. Second of all, it tells us obviously whoever we are. For instance, here I'm an example student. This is my profile picture that I have, and a few other things which we'll get into. The main things that you here have on your student dashboard is your messages, which is a system in which you can contact other people in your groups as well as administrators if there's any problems, as well as reports, which tells you exactly where you are in terms of your grades in whichever course that you enrolled in currently. For instance, I have NG's computing gradebook. Currently, I'm having an F because I'm still going through everything. Let's carry on with the tour. The main thing over here is you can see over here we have a little thing that says online courses. So you want to move that online courses. You want to press it, and it'll take you to all of the online courses. So depending on the day, you'll see different things here, but the basic idea is that I want to show you exactly how grading and how actually doing quizzes work on the system. So let's go down to end user computing. Let's click it, and you can see when we click on one of the unit standards, when we click on one of the qualifications, it takes us, first of all, it gives us a purpose and rationale of the qualification, explaining exactly what is entailed in this qualification, and then finally it also gives us a whole lot of course content. For instance, in end-user computing in this course, there are 9 clusters, each one with many unit standards, some up to 1, some up to even 10. That's the basic structure of the actual course itself. Now let's actually check out the course content. Let's click on the first unit standard. So you can see here that in the first unit standard, it takes me to a section where it says lessons and materials. In materials, what the first step that you're going to be taking is that you're going to be downloading the LG, the Learner Guide. And to do that, you just press materials, you click on it, and it should open a little download box over here. You can see that it's already downloaded, and this is actually your Learner Guide. This is your guide to understand what the formatives. It's your workbook basically, and it won't have any of the questions. Rather, it'll have the learner guide to understand exactly what the questions are and how to basically answer the questions. So that's the first thing in here. Also, under materials, if you have any other information that you need to get, for instance, specific pictures that you need to have or attach, or other documents in which you need to be working with, that'll also be in materials. Whether that be in the unit standard or in the summative, we'll go through that. So let's go back to lessons. We clicked on the lesson, we can click back into the unit standard. Again, it just shows us the topic, which is the understanding of what this specific unit standard is. You can see here that it has a decent amount of information about the unit standard itself, as well as, again, the materials. Again, this is also a place where you'll not only find the learner guide, but you should also find specific information about this unit standard in itself. Now let's go on to the formative assessment. So you can see when we click one of the formative assessments, it opens up. Obviously, this is assuming that you've completed the learner guide. Let's start the quiz. So you can see this is a basic formative assessment. It has many different questions, and it has places in which that you type your response. So for instance, what is a Trojan, what is a cookie, what is the internet, what is www, and then what's a URL. This is all things in which you'll be asked and all things which will be explained in the learner guide. And this is something that you will have to answer as in these boxes. For instance, it says what is a www. You're going to type www. www stands for the World Wide Web. That's an example of a question being answered. Some questions need much more information, some questions need less. It's all on a question by question basis. And that's the basic idea. Finally, when you've completed all of the questions, you can scroll all the way down. And I mean, you wouldn't be scrolling down when you're finishing the questions, but finally you can press Finish Quiz. That will tell you it's computing how many of the questions that I have completed and how many I have got right. So you can see that currently I've got 0 of the questions answered correctly, and I have 9 essay questions pending, because you know that I wrote down all of those essays and they haven't been reviewed manually yet. And over here in the same section you can see exactly how you were graded. You can see what you wrote, and it's just a nice little area. You can restart quizzes here as well if you feel like you can do better. And you can also click here to continue. So let's press here to see a different example of formative assessment. This is another formative assessment. And this formative assessment is actually an assessment in which a user has to physically do something. In this example, you have to start a search engine that you're comfortable with, and you have to take screenshots of specific elements in the search engine. For instance, the address bar, Internet Explorer, links bar, status bar. And basically, once you've taken these screenshots, then you press the done button. And finally, it says upload the image with each element pointed out. You will have those screenshots and upload them here. So this is an example of an upload question, and this is a slightly different question to the essay question, obviously, in which you have a file or you have a document in which you have to edit or create, and you upload the file and you wait for a review of the actual file itself. It's more of a practical quiz. And you can see, for instance, in each of these quizzes, you will have specific files that you have to upload, and it will guide you exactly how to do that and what type of files. For instance, if you have to put in a PDF specifically, let's say you're converting a Word to a PDF as an example, it will tell you, and then you would have to upload that PDF specifically. If not, obviously no marks will be, or not enough marks will be given. And it's the same thing here, showing specific things about favorites, tabs, and uploading the screenshots. Finish quiz. You can see that's the basic idea. Again, you can view questions. That's the basic idea of everything. And then just a little thing about the summatives. For instance, now I haven't completed all of these 4 assessments yet, and you can see that it actually physically tells me please go back and complete the previous topic. So I have to finish each assessment one by one in this order in order to finally get to the summatives, and then the next unit stand, and the next cluster, and the next cluster, until finally we finish the entire qualification. We can see if I go back, if I press previous topic, it'll take me back until I have to actually finish each formative. You can see that the little box over here turns green when you've completed it. That's the basic idea. Summatives, practicals, and logbooks, very similar thing. Basically, you get a summative in which you have to physically do something or do a quiz, and you also get a practical in which it actually is a practical and you have to log exactly how much time each item took you, how much time each element took you. That's the basic idea. One more thing to take notes is that right over here, at all times, there's actually a take notes button in which you ever need to take notes or think about something, you can have a little note section here. So if you ever need to think about something here, you always have it on hand. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your own browser. Very nice little section. Let's go back to whatchamacallit. Let's go back to the course materials, go back to our student dashboard, and yeah, that's the basic idea. And remember, if you ever have any questions, if you have any issues, you can contact our administrators, you can contact our tech support, and we're open for anything that you need, and we're happy to help. I wish you well.